Today we're going to be Setup might be a little bit slow today. I'm trying to get my laptop to work, but it's not. Sorry guys, just bear with me for 5 minutes. Like the reason I'm not really replying and stuff like that is like normally I kind of read my chat on the secondary computer like my laptop, but I had to restart the thing because it just completely froze up. So if I'm a bit late with replies, then you know why. It's so hot today. Really unbearable. Just want winter to arrive already. Sorry, Cristobal. I'm not sure I understand. No comprende. Thanks, Axel. Yeah, I think you've been here before, but it's hard to remember. Sorry guys, been a while since I've spoken any Spanish. I'm a bit rusty. Lo siento. Yes, yes. Hey Bruno, how's it going? Welcome back to the stream. Oh, nothing much. Same old. And you? What's up with you? Salad fingers. Like this reminds you of salad fingers? The music's pretty soft. It's really just ambience from Skyrim. I tried to use more popular music last time, but it got like silenced in every country, so actually it just got completely struck out, like the video was pretty much removed off YouTube, which really sucks. The really funny part actually was that the music, the thing that actually got it taken off YouTube completely was this song about like, I don't know, just freedom and happiness and all this bullshit. And yeah, that was the one that they thought appropriate to actually just take the whole video down. Main offender. Axel, your English is fine, but thank you. Gracias. No, this is the Umbros. You get them from stage 1 and you also get them on Monsoon. Does look quite different to the original though, I think. It must be creepy. Creepier it is, the more successful it is, in my book. I want to try and make it look like the eyes are just a little bit visible inside of the head, behind the eyelids. I think that would look super creepy. What am I doing? Let me try it like this. Sorry, I think I've got a frog in my throat today. I really want to actually make a new boss, but I need to get through this stuff first. Once I'm done with all the old content, then I want to add some new stuff. But yeah, I've got a few boss ideas I'm dying to try out, but just wouldn't feel right if I hadn't finished off the other stuff first. Hey, velocity. This is the resolution it's going to be in the game in. It's 4 times the resolution of the sprites that are already in the game. Akbar, it is, yeah. It's not an official sequel. It's basically just a mod. But yeah. If you look in the description, you can check out the some of the other stuff I've done for the mod on my art station, and then you can get some more information on it. quite smitten with that actually. Came out exactly the way I wanted it to. It takes quite a while. Like, I took a bit of a hiatus since November, but I was working on it all throughout last year. Made a lot of progress, but it does take quite a long time, unfortunately. Well, it's all about the graphics tablet, really. If you get yourself a good Wacom tablet, even if you've got a shoddy computer, most of them can handle it. That being said, my computer takes ages to load. I want to try and get my hands on a new computer as well at some point. Or at least just a SSD hard drive or something like that. I've been playing around a lot with 3D again recently. I don't really have anything to follow up with that. I guess you'll be seeing more of that? Yeah. Well, I guess it would be good to have a computer that can render nice and quickly, right? I'm finally kind of dipping my toes into 3ds Max, which I've avoided for a very long time because I actually learned how to do 3D through Blender. The software I'm using right now is Adobe Photoshop. That's what I do most of my stuff on. If you don't have the moolah to get Photoshop, you can also use the GIMP. It's what I started out on. The payment plan I actually have for Photoshop, well, sorry, I'm using a payment plan for Photoshop because I can't really afford to just buy it up front because it's ridiculously overpriced. But if you have like a day job or something like that, then you can just pay per month and it's a lot more feasible, I guess. Unless you happen to have a bundle of money and you don't know what to spend it on. Most software is just ridiculously expensive, graphic software at least. Unfortunately, artists and graphic designers don't earn all that much, so it's kind of doubly as unfortunate that all of our software should be so goddamn expensive. I've even seen advertising agencies that pirate their software rather than buy it. It's just too expensive. Way too expensive. I mean, I've worked for agencies that have done that, and I'm talking about companies with like upwards of 200 people. And the reason they pirated it is because they needed a different license for every single computer, and that's not something that's very cheap. Thanks, Daniel. You're the best man, just for saying that. It's kind of funny actually. If you want to find out if somebody's pirated Photoshop, just look and see if they're using CS6 or Creative Cloud, because Creative Cloud is notoriously hard to crack. So if they're still using CS6, then they probably just pirated it. I pirated it for the longest time. I just couldn't afford it. It's insane. Massively overpriced. And then my friend just showed me Creative Cloud and I decided to give it a whirl, and now I'm using that instead. The thing is with for actually drawing on a computer and stuff like that, you don't need all the bells and whistles that Photoshop has, you know, like the only thing you really need is a hard brush and a soft brush. Brush and an eraser and you're good to go. Like I was using textured brushes for the longest time until I figured out that you don't actually even need those. You just kind of... That's all you need, just a hard and a soft brush. The most important thing is just the stuff that you learn, like how to use those and all that, which you can also get online for free. And once you have those techniques down, you can paint just about anything you can imagine. We are the best men. There was an open source painting program I heard about a while back, but I can't quite recall the name. I haven't heard anything about it recently though, so I hope they're still going. But yeah, and if you're ever struggling, I don't really know who this is directed to, I guess just anybody who wants to learn how to draw. If you're ever struggling with a body part, like you're struggling with hands or lips or a nose or something like that, go to this website. I can't actually get the URL for you right now. It's called Character Design References, something like that. It's incredibly useful. Like there's just mountains of reference for anything that you want to draw. So, I mean, you open up a page and you'll be looking at a Pinterest gallery of like 1,000 pictures for whatever you choose, and it's updated daily as well, completely free too, so really useful. Whenever I'm drawing like people, I usually keep that open. It just helps me get that stuff down. Yeah, I mean, like I was talking about Blender earlier, I love Blender. Like, it kind of bums me out that actually so many gaming companies don't support it because it's the one that most people have, and it's actually really, really, really good. I mean, I've seen the differences between 3ds Max versions, and there's really not that much from version to version. They're even using the same loading artwork from like 2010. But Blender is like, it's getting better and better, man. It's completely free too. It's just a really good program. But I've got nothing but respect for people who produce open source software. I really think it's the way of the future. There should be more of it. What is nice though, and I'll say this about at least one gaming company that I know does this, is with Valve. They actually have this thing where they released a guide on how to produce models for their game, but they did it for Blender, which just makes sense. I mean, so many people use it. With character design references, it's actually just images. They're basically just tutorials, but they're very quick and they're very to the point, so you can learn like really, really quickly, like almost from a glance actually what you want to do. Like, I mean, there's a section for every single part of the body, so if you want to learn how to draw a good torso or something like that, there's just pages and pages of pictures of torsos with lines on them and like, you know, stuff like that. But like, I've seen a lot of references to draw from, a lot of tutorials and stuff like that, and I think most of them just screw around. But with these ones, they're really to the point. Like, you'll get the information that you need, like, really, really fast. Whoever curates that gallery is doing like an amazing job. But check it out. See for yourself. There's even sections on how to draw, like, you know, clothes from different eras and stuff, and they'll have like each era. There's a section for environments, which is also like extremely useful. Stuff like that, you know. Really, really useful website. I sound like I'm advertising for them, but like I say, I mean, they don't earn any money. They do this all for completely free, so yeah. I don't even know who curates it. They've got a Facebook page as well. That's actually how I heard about them. Yes, it's one happy testicle. Make sure you dry your testicles, and then they'll end up looking like that, all warm and fuzzy. How's it going, Alex? There are balls. Alex, known as Alice, he's a good friend of mine from RL. She's been the victim of an extremely mean boss for a little while now, and she recently resigned. So I just want you guys to congratulate her, because her boss was an asshole, and she's free now. I'm doing good, Lex. Put these testicles in your museum. These nuts. I bet you could put these nuts in a museum. Alex is learning a few Slavic languages as well, so if any of you speak those languages, you can lend a hand by talking to her in them. That'd be great. Yeah, I doubt she'd be here unless she was really strange. She sounds like an extremely bored lady. Remember, gentlemen, if your testicles look like this, then you need to see a doctor. I think that's something we can all agree on. And Alex, this probably is a bit weird out of context, but these in fact aren't testicles. Just wanted to like put that out. They really do look like testicles though. It's like, you know that scene from Kung Pao, where his tongue comes out of his mouth and it's got a little face on it, and it sort of goes, it's like that, except with the balls. Alex, these are for a game called The Binding of Isaac. I'm making a mod for it, so the originals look like this, and I'm just making versions that look more realistic for a mod. Testicles. I wonder if I can get flagged from YouTube for saying testicles. Testicles, testicles, testicles. I've got a lovely pair of coconuts. King, how's it going, dude? Long time no see. It's been so long seeing all these familiar faces again. Thanks, Velocity Skeptic. Yeah, it seems like it's always the simplest looking monsters that have the most potential. Like, I mean, it's an embryo, you know? There's a lot of space for expression there. I'm looking forward to seeing how these look in game, actually. I can't tell you how hard it is to talk to my family about this mod. I don't think they really understand. They're just like, Chris, why the fuck do you put all this really weird shit up on your like Facebook page every now and then? So I kind of tend to share it to my personal one a bit less. Just seems a bit strange. What is Call the Midwife? That sounds like I'm about to be traumatized. Don't tell me that's a TLC show. It really sounds like one. I don't think my parents do. Nah. I just, if they do, they haven't told me. But I can't really imagine them just being like, "Oh, Chris, like, well done, I was watching you draw that testicle. Thanks, Dad. I put my heart and soul into it." You just can't draw a good testicle without putting some real back into it. This is an angry testicle. Nope, it's a sad testicle. Ultra Greed versus the Hush. Place your bets. I'm willing to bet that Ultra Greed would win, personally. Should actually ask Edmund McMillan to test that out. Do a poll. Must be a way to mod that, actually. Get them to fight each other. It would be a very long fight, that's for sure. What a fine testicle you have there. Good boy, Dando. What does your son do? Ah, he draws testicles in his free time. Oh, marvelous. These are the finest testicles I've ever seen. You laugh, but some of the enemies in the game are literally made out of turds. They're just shits. And I'm gonna have to draw them, which means I'm gonna have to look up a lot of pictures of shit and draw cutesy little eyes on them and make them animate. Can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to that. In fact, I've actually been putting them off. Probably going to do those last, for this floor at least. 94 carrot testicle. Thanks, Alex. Be some useful reference. Just shit and take a picture of it. Poop in a cup. No. But they pretty much do look like poo emojis. They're not that far off. This one looks more concerned than sad. There's a dog. You really got to give more context here. Is there a dog attacking your neighbor? Did a dog just pitch up out of nowhere? What do you call that thing when a lady's pregnant and they put that like goo in her stomach and then they put that device on? An ultrasound, yeah. What'd you do if you did an ultrasound and you saw this, like looking at you on the screen? Your garage or somebody else's garage? These bulldogs aren't too dangerous, they just kind of slobber everywhere around. I think the one on the left is definitely the most creepy. Just move that right there. Yeah. My sister's friend's got a bulldog. Seems like a crime against dog kind. So, whoever's a bulldog owner here. It just seems a bit weird that somebody would look at a dog like that and be like, hey, you know what we need? More of that. Slobbering and suffering. Apparently bulldogs can't even breed without like somebody helping them out these days. Yeah, it's weird. I don't think bulldogs are really that mean. Some dogs have a really undeserved reputation. I grew up around Doberman and I love them. They're really nice dogs. Very good temperaments. My uncle's got some German pointers as well, and those are amazing dogs. Sweetest things. Thanks, Isaiah. Mr. Santos, appreciate it. I can hear a clock. Can anyone else hear that? Must be losing my mind. Walgreens. I'm not really sure what that is. I hope it's fun. Walgreens like Walmart or something like that. Ah, thanks. Alright. I get what you're saying. Yeah, we got a place like that. I think it's called Clicks. I'm not sure if you get them overseas. Sounds similar. See you around, Velocity. Thanks for joining. He's a very enthusiastic testicle. It's testicle of the month, every month. Enthusiastic testicles. AKB. It is pretty dodgy. The creepier it looks, the better. If it really freaks people out, then I know that it's successful. No, Alex, if you're wondering what that creepy ass statue was in my house, the one that looks a little bit like these guys, it's kind of part of the same project. I did it as a sort of special after I got a certain amount of subscribers. Yeah. Yeah. I remember taking that thing out of the oven. My old housemate's friend for visiting. And I just kind of waltzed through the house, went to the oven and took that thing out. And the one dude that was there was just like, what the fuck is that? Like, it just creeped him out so much. It looks cursed. For sure. Cursed Isaac Dole, or whatever the hell you want to call it. God, there's so many sculptures I want to work on, but I've got other fish to fry right now. She streamed the creation of that whole thing. It was a lot of fun. People have been asking me if I could do a few of the bosses, like the lamb and stuff. And I want to do that too. Like I say, I mean, it's just time, getting materials as well. Everything's just a bit tight right now. But I do plan to, eventually. Trademark. That's enough of that. So in game, it's probably going to be about, sorry, yay big? Tiny. You won't be able to see most of the detail, but I still want it to be there anyways. Sorry guys, can you just give me 2 minutes? Somebody's knocking on my door. I'll be right back. Nobody there? Maybe I'm just losing my mind. That's alright. I can still do a bit more today. Hey there, Hugo. Welcome. I always love it when you call me Daddy. I'm kidding. Not being serious. Sorry about the noise. I was gonna close the window, but it's it's hotter than a Mexican's arsehole in here, so I prefer to keep it open, if that's alright. Lest the skin boil off of my bones. Actually wanted to ask, do you guys play like Warcraft 3? Are there any Warcraft 3 fans here? Like, I was thinking of also, because I occasionally like play some games, like when I get free time and stuff, especially on the weekends. And I've been thinking about some games to stream, right? Like, and the one game that I've been playing for the longest amount of time, without a shadow of a doubt, is probably Warcraft 3. And there are just so many custom maps, and most of them are really like funny, so I was thinking I might actually stream it. I said this last year, I know I did, but kind of keen to do that. Like, I think the channel this channel at least like kind of garners a different, crowd from the regular kind of Let's Players, and that's not really what I want to be about, but if I've got free time and I'm playing games anyways, it'd be kind of fun to show what I was doing, Speaking of which, actually, I work on this map that I've been working on the weekends for like a long time, and I'm really keen to kind of show some of that. I was actually working on a UI for it today because I didn't really have a lot to do today. And it looks really cool. I just kind of wanted to stream Binding of Isaac today, so I didn't really want to stream that. Plus, I'm working on so many things at the moment, I think it would be better if I don't actually work on that during the week. Instead, I should spend that time kind of working on Crimson Spiral or Binding of Isaac. I'm probably going to be working on Crimson Spiral tomorrow, speaking of which, so I'm going to be working on those skeletons again. Those rib cages I was working on a few days back. Yeah. That project has been going on forever, but in my defense it is a very, very time-consuming one. I've kind of been watching a lot of Witty as well. It's well, there it is, just abbreviated to Witty. And I really love his streams, like they're laid back, they're just kind of fun. And he plays games with his audience as well, which is really cool, Plus, they just released this huge patch for Warcraft 3 that made it so that you can play with widescreen, like natively. And a couple of other like fixes and stuff. So people are speculating that there's going to be some sort of HD update, which I actually don't want to happen because that means that it's going to be harder for people to make maps because they're going to make much more complicated models if they want to use custom models, and it's going to break a lot of old maps. But it is cool nonetheless. So it's a good time to play Warcraft 3. Right. It's kind of the reason I've been learning 3ds Max. I don't know, when I was growing up, games just looked like shit. They looked fucking terrible. And they were really, really hard to make. But these days, I mean, the tools are so advanced. So if you want to mod an old game, you can make that stuff a lot easier, and you can make it like on an independent basis, which is awesome. And there's just something to be said about that those really shitty graphics. But truth be told, I know that this is nostalgia talking. because I have played that game for ages, and I don't think anybody who's played games, you know, grown up on like modern day games would enjoy it as much. I don't know, it's just fun. I think it's kind of like when I was a kid, you know, you would get these old guys who used to collect train sets and stuff. So that's my train set, so to speak. Alright guys, listen up. That is going to be me for the day. Been streaming for about an hour and 45 minutes and I'm beat. So, I will see you all tomorrow when we put this thing to bed. Get started with the next one. But I just want to say to all of you, thank you so much for watching, and see you all tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.